Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. Thanks. Parle.
Good evening. 2019 Wimbledon champion, Novak Djokovic. Who's going to go first here?
Okay, you can go. Novak, congratulations.
Thank you.
You're tough as nails, but you're also a very emotional player, and you controlled your emotions throughout, save for one moment of frustration and that goal violation. Did you prepare that for the specific final? How did you feel throughout the final? And also it was a very subdued celebration. Just tell me about it.
Well, it was a huge relief in the end, honestly. In this kind of matches, you work for, you live for. They give sense and they give value to every minute you spend on the court, training and working to get yourself in this position and play the match with one of your greatest rivals of all time. That was one thing that I promised myself coming onto the court today, that I need to stay calm and composed, because I knew that the atmosphere will be as it was, and obviously Roger is playing well, and I kind of predicted the scenarios in my head already, visualized what's going to happen, but it was probably the most demanding, mentally most demanding match I was ever part of. I had most physically demanding match against Nadal in finals of Australia. They went almost 6 hours, but mentally this was a different level because of everything, and I'm just obviously thrilled and overjoyed with emotions to be sitting here in front of you as a winner. It was one shot away from losing the match as well. This match had everything, and it could have gone easily his way. He was serving extremely well, I thought, the entire match. I had a lot of difficulties to read his serve. And, it was kind of a flashback of the US Open when I saved the 2 match points against him as well. But look, in these kind of moments, I just try to never lose self-belief and just stay calm and just focus on trying to get the ball back, return, which wasn't serving me very well today. But in the most important moments, all 3 tie breaks, I guess, if I can say so, I found my best game.
Novak, you had your fair share of crazy matches in Grand Slams and back on wall and coming back. This one, from outside, looked like it took you something extra special to really get through mentally. Can you try to describe what it was, especially those tie breaks or match point to save and the crowd against you?
Yeah, well, first of all, playing against Roger on any surface, but on grass in finals, it's a lot of constant pressure, because he stays close to the line, and regardless of who he's playing against, whether the serve is coming 150 miles an hour or as mine 120, he's there. He blocks the shots very well. He anticipates extremely well. He's so talented. He's got a perfect game for this surface. So I knew that I needed to bring in some variety in play. I needed to be sharp when the opportunity is there, when I have a shorter ball, to go for it. And at times I did, at times I didn't. I thought I wasn't, especially in the second serve returns, I was not doing well at all. I thought I had many opportunities, and I just didn't hit the ball. I didn't capitalize on those opportunities. But in a way, it's normal also to expect that there are more nerves in play, because you're playing finals of Wimbledon against Roger. So but I thought I was most of the match on the back foot. Actually, I was defending. He was dictating the play, and I just tried to fight and find a way when it mattered the most, which is what happened.
Yeah.
Incredibly courageous performance from both of you, I thought. Where does that courage come from? How do you prepare or train yourself to have that courage and mental toughness in a 5th set after 4 hours? You talked about visualizing what would happen before the match.
Well, I can only speak on my own behalf. Obviously, we spoke about power of visualization and preparing yourself for possible scenarios, and I obviously try to play the match in my mind before I go on the court, and I probably could not play this kind of scenario, but I always try to imagine myself as a winner, and I think there is a power to that, and but also there has to be, next to the willpower, strength that comes not just from your physical self, but from your mental and emotional self, and it's I think it's, well, for me at least, it's a constant battle within, more than what happens outside. It's really not the situations that you experience that are affecting you, but how you internally experience those situations, how you accept them, how you live through them. So, I just told myself before the match, I'm gonna try to switch off as much as I can from what is happening around us, and just be there, be present. And I thought I could have played better, and I just explained why. But at the same time, one thing that probably allowed me to come back and save match points and win this match was the mental stability in those moments. And I guess that all of these things combined result, in a courageous effort, as you mentioned it. But there's not a specific formula to find the courage. I mean, at least from my perspective, you can go all out and just close your eyes and just hit the ball as hard as you can, and then you can call that courage. But I wouldn't necessarily call it courage in some particular situation. So you need to be constantly playing well throughout 5 hours if you want to win the match like this. So I guess there is an endurance part, but I think there's always this self-belief, and you have to keep reminding yourself that you are there for a reason, and that you are better than the other guy. And as hard as the moment is that you are in, the more you have to remind yourself, the more you have to talk to yourself. I mean, that's at least in my case.
So in this match, you're playing not only Roger Federer, but you're playing, as you've mentioned already, the crowd.
Yeah.
Decidedly against, or decidedly for Roger. How, even though you're going within and all the inner strength,
yes,
how aware are you of the crowd as the match is unfolding?
I mean, it's hard to not be aware. I mean, if you have that kind of electric atmosphere and that kind of noise, and especially in some decisive moments where we're quite even, and it's one way or another, and then the crowd gets into it. Of course, if you have majority of the crowd on your side, it helps. It gives you motivation, it gives you strength, it gives you energy. I mean, when you don't, then you have to find it within, I guess.
And that was the case here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and on the same vein, I mean, can you take that energy and do you block it out, or can you kind of repurpose it and channel it into yourself? Is it fun in a way to sort of,
That's a good question, because at times you just try to ignore it, which is quite hard. I like to transmutate it in a way. So when the crowd is chanting Roger, I hear Novak. So that's I know it sounds silly, but it is like that. I try to convince myself that it's like that. And
is that like a mental training, or is that something you're doing within
of course,
the moment? Yeah.
of course.
Novak, you've been catching.
It's similar, Roger Novak. When
You've been catching Roger and Rafa for years now, and you're getting closer and closer.
Yeah.
You ever think of what it's going to be like if you ever pass them? How weird that might be.
Well, it seems like I'm getting closer, but also they're winning slams, so it's like we're kind of complementing each other, and I guess we're making each other grow and evolve and still be in this game. I think, those two guys, probably one of the biggest reasons I still compete at this level, and the fact that they made history of this sport motivates me as well, inspires me to try to do what they what they've done, what they've achieved, and even more. Whether I'm going to be able to do it or not, I don't know. I'm not really looking at age as a restriction of any kind. For me, at least, what I said on the court, I really meant it. I think Roger really inspires me with his effort at his age, and it just depends, how long I'm going to play, whether I'm going to have a chance to, make historic number one or slams. It depends not only on myself. It depends on circumstances in life. I'm not just a tennis player. I'm a father. I'm a husband. And you have to balance things out. Obviously, you need to have the right circumstances, the right support for things to play out in the right way.
Last two English questions. The gentleman here and then here.
What did the grass taste like?
Better than ever. I don't know. It tasted amazing. I'm still digesting it.
Novak, first of all, congratulations. Versus Federer, you don't seem to be happy to save just one match point. US Open 2010, 2 match points. US Open 2011, 2 match points. Today, 2 match points again. Since you predict always the oldest scenarios, do you see yourself being 37 years old and hear people saying, "Let's go Novak, let's go Novak"?
I hope so. As I said, I really, if things are well balanced and if I have ability to keep on playing, and if I of course firstly still enjoy it, because I don't have any obligation to play. I really don't have any commitment to play tennis. I play it because I really love it and I have support of the closest people in my life. So as long as that's so, hopefully in 5 years' time I can be hearing the same chants.
Thank you.
Thank you.